Today, I have with me a founding member of the All Progressive Congress, who was also the founding national auditor of the party, who has actually just recently left the party. He was also the former managing director of the National Inland Waterways Authority. I'd like to welcome to Inside Sources a leading Nigerian politician, Chief George Moghalu.
Thank you very much, Lalo, for having me.
Thank you for coming to Inside Sources.
My pleasure.
And what a time, you've been in the news all of these last several days, when you announced that you are leaving the APC, So what's going on, Chief?
No, for me, I felt, for any political contestation, there are two indices that must be considered. One is the person, two is the platform.
True.
For the person, it is about you to make a decision where you want to be. It's about you to tell yourself whether you want to contest an election. It's about you to tell yourself what you want to do. Okay, then the second leg of it is the issue of platform. For that, it has to be in consultation with quite a lot of people.
With your people, really?
Yes, it involves quite a lot of people, because if you look at the letter I sent to my ward chairman telling him of my decision to resign, I put there in very emphatic terms that the decision is personal.
Right. That's
okay, true. And that has to do with my person, because it's one leg of the indices in any political contestation.
True.
And that is deciding where you want to be, who you are, what you want to do.
Right.
Then thereafter, now you go to the next level of platform, which has to do with a lot of wide consultation. Because a lot of people expected me to announce, if I'm leaving political party A, moving to political party B, or things like that. It is not my style of politics. My style of politics is, it has to do with a lot of consultation. It has to do with the people, because the intention is service. You are supposed to serve a people. And then when you have that at the back of your mind, one thing that will come uppermost is, how do they want you to serve them? What do they want you to do, and how? So you're required to do a lot of consultation, relating with them, asking questions, telling them, now that you're here, what do we do? Since I don't intend to leave politics.
Right.
Okay, if I were leaving or quitting politics completely, then I wouldn't have bothered about what anybody will say. It becomes a matter of just me and my family. Okay, but since I still want to remain in politics, then there is need now for me to now ask questions of my supporters all the years. I know what just happened drew a lot of interest.
Yes.
Because since 1990, in fact, since my political career.
Yeah.
This is the first time.
You were the National Public Secretary of APP?
No, National Secretary.
Okay, National Secretary of APP.
APP,
and then ANPP.
Yes, then later Vice Chairman. Southeast of ANPP. Then later member and coordinating secretary of the merger committee that put together
created APC.
And then later elected the first national auditor of APC.
Yeah. So
before this time. So you find out
that,
yes, I've had a trajectory of consistency. Or people became, that's why it became a lot of issue all over the country. Why? What could have happened? Why? It hasn't happened before. This is a man who has never changed political platform. Why this time? And things like that. So I understand that sentiment.
Yeah. But so why? Chief, since you raised it.
Yes. No. I just wanted to let you know why there's so much reaction, because somebody very close to me asked me yesterday, but you're not the first person resigning from a political party. A lot of people have resigned before in the past. Why is this one so much of an issue? I said probably
because it
may be
unique in your
unique in the sense that this man has never done a thing like this, which is very, I don't know what to say, it's apolitical, because it is a normal thing. It's a normal happenstance. But for me, I don't see it as so. So having done that, then you raise quite a lot of interest.
Yeah, well, your friends in the APC, they'll be speaking about your departure.
Yes.
I think Representative Duru, he's also from Anambra State, by the way.
Yes.
Said that, we know that he had left long time ago. He's just making it formal. You know, that's what he said.
Okay, that's maybe his opinion. That must be his opinion, which he may have formed it based on his personal observation or what have you. But then, I leave that to him, because that is his view.
Absolutely. And there's also a lot of speculation that in the press, I'm sure you must have read it, that you're also going to be joining the Labour Party.
Yes, the speculation is quite high. The speculation is quite high. But like I said, I still have to make my position clear after a wide consultation, because I intend to run an election.
Right. Right.
All right.
Because yes. You are still a politician.
Yes, I intend to run an election. And like I did say, running an election involves more than me. If I was to quit politics, then I would have said, okay, I just consult my wife and my children, and that ends it there. But this time around that I desire to still run an election, I still have to do quite a lot of consultation. I still have to ask a lot of questions. I still have to hold meetings with my group and my team that has been consistent with me over the years.
Right.
What do we do? How do we go about this? This is what you people said I should do. This is where I am. What do we do? So by the time you collate all those opinions and submissions, then you cannot be able to take a position and then come out and then make a statement to that effect.
And you know, when do you think that's going to happen?
It won't take too long, because the consultation is quite on.
Okay. So let's talk about, the future of the country.
Yeah.
You know, which is what we try to focus on Inside Sources. So you have been, since 1999 that we had the beginning of this republic, the Fourth Republic. Now it's about 25 years.
Yes.
And you've been among the progressives, essentially a key player. Do you think that where things are today in the country, that we are on the trajectory to that greater Nigeria that many of us, including yourself, being a progressive politician, believe is Nigeria's destiny?
Yes, I feel concerned, like a Nigerian, so to speak, and like you said, a progressive Nigerian at that. I am worried because of the enormity of the challenge. But the truth about it is that the level of destruction and decay in the system is not what can be repaired in one day.
That's true.
All right? It's something that has to be gradual, something that has to be progressive, in the sense that where we are today is actually not where we were expected to be. But unfortunately, that's how we found ourselves. And then this government has just come in. For me, I see them as having come in new. They've not been long enough to be able to address all the challenges.
Right.
But I think that if they maintain the tempo and consistency, okay, we may be able to get out of the challenge. It's not an overnight thing, because the damage did not come overnight. It was a progressive decay. And then we failed to do what we were supposed to do. Because I remember very clearly when Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala was Minister of Finance.
Right.
I remember when she initiated the process of savings from excess crude account. Okay, but some governors then insisted that the money has to be shared. And the money was shared. Okay? And when we now needed money, there was no money. Okay. If we had invested quite a lot of money in our infrastructural development from long over the years, we won't be where we are today. All right? Okay. The Buhari administration, like it or not, did quite a lot in the railway sector. All right? To build that infrastructure. If we had started long before he came, I can imagine where we would be today. So what we should have done in the past, we did not do. We did not emphasize what we should have emphasized on, what we should have built on. And then we left that decay. Look at agriculture. Agriculture, don't forget that time was in this country when it was the mainstay of the economy.
Right.
I remember the good old days when I read through the books. I may not have been a player then. When you talk about the Kanu Granite Pyramid, you talk about cocoa in the West, you talk about palm oil in the south, in the southeast and south. I can tell you that some of the investments that were made then, Presidential Hotel, Obudu Cattle Ranch, and all these things are still there. They all came out of agriculture. And the question is, should we now consider the discovery of oil as a curse or a blessing to us? Because the coming of that kind of shifted the focus of governance from agriculture onto the issue of the oil and gas sector that was providing immediate cash And then the political class laid emphasis on that and then started dispensing money. Time was when we were told in this country that money was not our problem. So we cannot, for whatever it is, think that this decay of a very long time can be resolved in a period of 12 months. But it's practically not possible.
And that's a very reasonable point. But so what is your own assessment of the current administration? And I do clearly understand, like you do, that of course we have federal government, we have state government, and these responsibilities are shared. But looking at the federal government, since the emergence of our new president since last year up to now, how will you assess the Tinubu presidency?
I will look at this from the first perspective of sympathy. I sympathize with them. I sympathize with His Excellency Mr. President and his team. I sympathize with them because they came into the how would I put it, into the political setup at a situation where things have really gone bad. So, but you wouldn't blame anybody for blaming them because the buck stops on the table of the president.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of when he now came. For as far as Nigerians are concerned, we have a sitting president, we have a sitting cabinet that need to do magic. That is the expectation of everybody. But then the reality on the ground is that the challenge is enormous. And what they are doing, for me, they are on the right path. What they need to do is to sustain the tempo, increase effort, address the immediate challenges so that they can ameliorate the sufferings of the people. If, for example, the issue of fuel PMS is addressed successfully and is stabilized, the issue of repairing our refineries and getting them to function, so that, because you see, you can't determine the cost of these products unless the source, the supply,
is sorted out.
If you don't sort out the supply, the issue of pricing may be a difficult thing to achieve. So we must address those. So those areas, it's a matter of the government sitting down to look at and identify these areas that can have immediate impact on the lives of the people. Because if we address the issue of this PMS availability and supply, addressing the cost, it affects transportation, and transportation cuts across. It cuts across the entire country, the entire leverage of administration. It cuts across the workers, the businessmen, everybody. It cuts across. It touches everybody. So if we address that holistically, I can assure you that the impact will immediately be felt. Because what we need to do now is that while the major issues are being addressed, there should be a room created to be able to ameliorate the sufferings of the people.
When I asked you at the beginning of this conversation that, look, we just have to look at the cumulative impact of 25 years. And I have gotten to the point, Chief, that I don't really see a lot of difference among our political elites. Whether it's PDP or APC, even LP, I just hold everybody responsible for what it is that has been the fate of this country. It's just, because the lines have blurred.
No. The truth about it, you're very correct. The political class has an explanation to make. Because the question is, have we been able to justify the confidence of the people? The answer is no.
The
answer is no. Everybody inclusive.
True.
So we really need to work hard. We need to think out of the box. How do we get out of where we are? How do we get this country
to win the trust of the people back,
to realize its full potential? I was telling somebody that the biggest challenge we have as politicians in this country now is that we have lost the confidence of the people.
You are very right, Chief.
We've lost the confidence of the people. So every effort must be made to recover this confidence. And if we don't win back the confidence of the people, administering them will be difficult.
Very true.
Because if we have their confidence, they will be able to give us all the needed support. They will give us all the needed support. Whatever you say they should do, they will do. But when they feel that the leaders are there and we are here.
I made a point, and thank you for actually bringing this point, that Nigerians don't feel that they're on the same team with the government, especially on this issue of hardship. So the government says, tighten your belts. The situation is very bad. We didn't cause it. Well, whatever it is, we want to fix it. But it's going to take a lot of this. That will be tough. That's what the government says. And people say, okay. Now, but the people don't see on the side of people in government, whether it's executive or legislature, they don't see any tightening of belt. They see a lot of flamboyance, and ostentation, you know, and it's like, okay, are we in the same boat? You know, Chief Moghalu, what do you think about it?
No, it's quite worrisome. It's quite worrisome because when you sit down on your own, except you're operating in the moon, when you sit down on your own and then ask yourself a few questions, you know that the people are not happy. There is general resentment and everybody is branded a thief. Okay? Yes. Anybody who is properly dressed has an explanation to make. Okay, it's not whether now you are in government or whether you're out of government. The fact is
people don't see the difference.
People don't see the difference again because the dividing line is very thin.
Yeah,
that the circumstance has eroded it. So everybody is seen from the same prison. So it requires a lot of rethink. It requires a lot of soul searching. We, the political class, need to come to terms with the reality. We need to look at the issues as it is practically, and then. The emphasis now must be, we must de-emphasize it from the center. There are subnationals who have a role to play. States have critical roles to play. Local governments have critical roles to play. Yeah. And that is why some of us were very excited when the Supreme Court gave that judgment, giving some level of autonomy to the local government. But at the same time also, they have not addressed with the issues that is major for that control to be fully operational. You must address the electoral process that rose in those of the leaders of those local governments. Because what we have there today is our CX that are creations of the state, controlled by the state, result is gotten by the state.
Do you think the idea of having the federal government from the center control and manage state elections, do you think is a good one?
No, because the CX as it is presently constituted has failed. It has. My own assessment. Has failed. So if that has failed, what then is the option?
I think
we try the center.
Don't you think that we can be innovative about those things and see?
It's possible.
So why, for instance, ASEC failed? You know, it is because, in my view, that they are not really independent.
They were not independent from day one.
We had a former chief of staff come. I don't know whether you saw it, Mr. Tony Okocha. He did it on national television. Yes. He said, you know, so this is not a question. He said himself that as chief of staff in Rivers State, you know, he will just write out the state local government elections from his office and he will give it to SEC.
Yes.
He said it on TV. That is the problem. The independence of that.
That goes to show you the level of decay. Thank God there was a confession like that.
Oh, yeah.
There's a national television.
TV, yeah.
Okay. So that goes to tell you that even if the Supreme Court has done what is expected, what we have all excited about, practicalizing that judgment
is a whole different
ballgame. Because the same people who are operating it from the one will sit back again. That is why, tell me or show me the state where SEC has conducted election. And the state of the governor did not win on the local government. Since they were started.
Including all councillorship.
Since they started. Show me.
Well, it's a real...
So the purpose is now also defeated.
Right.
Now, if we had a process that throws up credible people, you'll be surprised that professors, you'll be surprised that successful businessmen will go back to their local government because everybody is interested in governance at their local level.
Yeah.
And if we do what
all politics are local.
Yes, if we do what we're supposed to do at the local government level, I can assure you that most people will not leave their local government to go to the state. If we do what we're supposed to do in the states, most people will not leave their states to go to the federal government to look for one favor or the other.
True.
So because if governance is brought down to the people, and that was the intention of the framers of the Constitution, they intend to bring governance to the people, down to the barest, lowest level. And that is the local government.
I remember, to your point, I remember that in 2002, thereabout, you know, I'm sure you know Professor Shola Adeyeye.
Oh, yes.
You know, he's been a professor in the US for decades. He came back and he was a local government chairman. You know, just to back up your
No, you've even forgotten the former deputy governor of Benue State, Leto Ogiri Ajene.
I see.
After being deputy governor, came back and contested and became councillor.
Interesting.
That he was interested in what is happening in his local government. Not even the chairman.
He was a councillor.
He contested to be elected as a councillor in his ward.
And I think that also speaks to the heart of service.
Yeah, because he wants to be part of what is happening at that level of governance. And by the time we now create a credible system that can throw up qualified persons.
Yeah. It will be a different
not lackeys of the government of the day. Throwing up credible people professionals who will come home to be interested in developing their local government. By the time we do that, and then we implement this policy this judgment by the Supreme Court, allowing direct funding to the local government, the money sent to the local government will be used in the local government and it will impact in the immediate environment. And people will see the result.
I agree with you. Because of our time, one last question, and I will definitely want you to answer this question now.
Okay.
So because you are a politician, you've been in the National Working Committee of APP, NPP, and APC. Do you think that the way we practice party politics today, do you think it even does it promote democracy? And I'll give you an example. In the Second Republic, and I'm sure that you were also, you are very familiar with what happened. The parties were funded by the members. And then the party leaders had so much influence and authority. On this show, Chief Aduobe, who you must know very well, said on this show that when he was minister under Shagari, when they are doing fake, if Adisa Kinoye, the party chairman, made a call to the president will stop fake to go and pick the call. That was the importance and the influence of the party then. Now, it's whatever the president wants, whoever is governor is in charge, and we have lost the beauty of party democracy. What do you think about this?
It's a problem. I agree with you. It's a very major problem. And you see, this is a situation that needs to be addressed. Because the stability of the political process is a consequence of the strength of the individual political parties and to the extent of internal democracy that is being played in such establishments.
Wow.
If you have strong political platforms, people who emerge from those platforms will have every reason to obey the instructions of those platforms and then carry out or implement the programs of those parties. Because in the course of political campaign electioneering, the parties make promises. You are supposed to present manifestos. And your manifesto is a reflection of the party you are contesting on their platform. Don't forget that no voter's card has anybody's name.
Wow.
Every voter's card, every ballot paper has nobody's name. It has only party's name.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, even in the case of Amechi,
his party.
It says that the party
is the party. You voted the party. You are voting the party. So the party has a responsibility. And you, who is the candidate of the party, is bound to represent the party's interest by carrying out what the party said should be done. But that is not happening now because we have lost internal democracy. The truth about it is that there is no internal democracy in most of the political parties. We have politicized it. We've gotten to a point where elected representatives decide what happens in the party.
Well, you don't mean politicized. I think we have corrupted it.
Yes, because then they're the ones who decide what happens in the political parties. And it shouldn't be the case. If the governor doesn't like your face, you can't be the state chairman of the party.
True. Interesting.
And then the people themselves have also given up their responsibility by way of wanting people who are elected into political positions to pay their membership dues. We have situations where you call somebody, you want 500 people registered in a local government or what, he will tell them, give me the list of the people he pays for them, and then tell them I have paid for you. And the moment that happens, he has mortgaged the entire constituency, and it becomes his personal property.
Yeah, we have a sitting minister, Mr. Wilson Wike, again, boast nationally, openly, that he paid the nomination forms for the state assembly, for the local government, and I'm sure for national, and he says it publicly.
Unfortunately.
So thank you so much.
Unfortunately so.
Yeah, thank you so much, Chief George Moghalu, for coming to Inside Sources. Thank you for your very insightful contributions, and thank you for your service to the country. We hope and believe that we will get it right in this country, because we will not relent, and we talk about the issues and hope that there will be a change.
Thank you so much, Lalu, for having me.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
All right. And there you have another edition of Inside Sources. Like we say, Nigeria will prevail. And we are here to ensure that happens because we don't give up. Thank you for watching. My name is Laudu Akonde. And by the grace of God, I'll see you on Friday.